So right here, we have the LifePro Rejuvicure sauna right here. This is a fantastic sauna. I figured that I'd teach you guys or show you guys kind of how I go about cleaning this thing after I'm done using it. So this is kind of my setup right here. Let me go ahead and turn on the lights so we can see a little bit better. I have a big towel that I drape over the bench right there. And then I have this little towel right here so that I can wipe the sweat off of my body as I start to perspire. Because this sauna does get up to 149 degrees is the highest that you can set it for, which is super awesome. So whenever it comes to taking care of your sauna and cleaning it, you want to make sure that you don't leave like puddles of sweat everywhere, because that's going to really destroy this really nice, beautiful wood that they have here. I really love the look of this. I do like how they do give you these wooden beams right here to be able to lean your back on a little bit. Although I got to say, whenever I'm in the sauna, one thing that I try to do is to work on my posture. And so I try not to put my back onto those woods so that I don't slouch as much. So, but I do notice that sometimes I do fall back a little bit, and I notice the beads start to get onto the little boards right here. In fact, I can already see just a tiny bit of discoloration right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. But whenever I'm done with my sauna, this towel's usually pretty drenched because I'm constantly wiping my body off because it gets so nice and hot in here. But after I'm done, I take this towel right here and I kind of rub the bench, and I'll kind of rub these bars to make sure that I get all the sweat off of everything so that it doesn't soak up into the wood. I will point out this too. The first time that I ever got into my sauna, I did not have my cup holder installed yet, and I had an open glass of water right here. And I was sitting in the sauna and I was just getting in, and right whenever I thought about it, I was like, oh, I want to go get a book to read or something. And I got up and I knocked that whole cup of water right here, which you have to be very careful because this is a heated panel right here. So you don't want to get any water into that. But also, you can really damage this wood, especially if you don't get it cleaned up in time. So I was able to get a big towel because it was like 12 ounces of water, and I soaked it all up. I can see still a little bit of discoloration here, which is kind of annoying. But I do want to point out that if you're going to be in here, use something like a thermos or something like this and install your cup holder. That way it can't get knocked over. That was kind of a big thing for me. Another way that you can, help to keep your sauna clean by, not accidentally spilling stuff in here. Because the hardest thing with the sauna is making sure that you wipe away and clean up all of the liquids that can come out of here, whether it's perspiration or whether it's, from your drinks or whatever you have. You definitely want to make sure that you get all that kind of, up and out and whatnot. But as far as, being in the sauna, getting it clean, just simply using a towel. Now, it does come with an oxygenator thing. I don't know exactly what it's called. Oxygen ionizer that you can install right here. I just haven't done that yet. It's kind of like a sanitary thing, so you can sanitize the sauna whenever you're done. This is it right here. And I've used the sauna, gosh, about a few weeks now, if I had to guess. And I just haven't taken the time to get this thing installed. But this is another way that you can help keep your sauna nice and clean and sanitized. You just simply install this right up here. They've got a cord coming out for you already. You just simply need to drill the screws on into there, get it popped on up into there, and get it good to go. I have plans to use that. I just haven't quite necessarily gotten around to it yet, but I do love that this sauna comes with this, so that it is a nice way that you can get a good refresher of your air, and you can get the sanitization going on as well. So another thing that I wanted to point out too is that if you did want to have the backrest on here, which I just leave mine on top of my sauna because I don't use it all the time. But this is another great option so that you don't damage your wood beams going through here. You can rest your back up against this. And then if this thing gets all messed up and dirty and whatnot, this is a lot cheaper to replace than something like this right here. So you may want to consider, if you do plan on leaning your back up against there, to use something like this. I love how it's got all the bars so you can rest your back on if you want to. And I like how it's kind of got that ergonomic design for your back to help you with your posture. But also, it's very open. There's lots of open spots right here so that the heat can still come through, as opposed to like having a towel draped over or something like that, where, you know, you wouldn't feel as much of the heat. But this is another great alternative to help you keep your, or I shouldn't say alternative, it's another thing that you can use to help keep your sauna clean so that you don't get the perspiration everywhere. But if you guys are looking for an awesome sauna, look, even with the door open, this thing gets nice and hot. I can highly recommend this thing. I love the small footprint that it has. It works extremely well, high quality. Y'all definitely need to go and grab y'all one of these right here if you guys want a sauna. This is the one by LifePro right there. Thank y'all for watching, and Dad out.